much conversation about Draymond, going back to obviously the preseason incident. Even postseason, they were pretty adamant that they felt like it really impacted what went on last season. What is your just general perspective on how much of an impact the Draymond punch had on last season, and how is it left now with him and
Yeah,
them?
yeah. I mean, we're in Washington now. Playing with Kuz, great duo. Um, Being able to really flourish, expand your game, and help, like I said, a new team, lead an entire group of guys. Uh, it's a challenge that we're up for. We got a new front office, and there's a lot of people that's invested. Everybody is locked in, wants to be here, start something that we can have that can be special.
So before we actually jump right into this video, have you guys ever been in a situation in life where you feel like you're needed but not wanted? It seems like that was just the perfect analogy when you talk about Jordan Poole and the experience with the Golden State Warriors. Most of us know, Jordan Poole used to be viewed as the future cornerstone for the Golden State Warriors. A lot of people would probably figure that once the baton was passed from Steph and Clay, it would be Jordan Poole's turn to pretty much take the team over. But however, that opportunity, of course, to shine on the floor is definitely still there for Poole in Washington, but just not Golden State. I believe he's going to actually, enjoy a much bigger role in D.C. He's going to be joining forces with Kyle Kuzma, who just recently inked that 4-year deal with the Washington Wizards for about, I think, $102 million. Now, as for Jordan Poole, the Golden State Warriors has sent him to Washington, even though they just signed him to a 4-year contract extension for just under $130 million back in 2022. Jordan Poole reacted to leaving Golden State when the media asked him. I also saw some of his former teammates kind of speak on Jordan Poole. I saw Steph Curry. I saw Draymond Green as well.
I talked to my agent on draft day. A lot of moves happen on draft day. He kind of was preparing if something would happen. I just got a call. Then Trey went down later that day, later on draft night. And then that was just the news.
Yo, so now that the trade is actually final, I felt like I come on here and just say to JP how much I appreciated the 4 years, brother. You're a champion. You grew up, right in front of everybody's face in terms of, that first year where it was rough and a lot of injuries and, was trying to find your way to going to the G League and coming back and helping us finish 15-5 down the stretch of that your second year, us winning a championship your third year, and fighting to the end, this past year. So can't wait to see you blossom, big fella.
Cleveland, Darius Garland at the point. Utah, I am taking Lauri Markkanen at the 3. Washington. Who's still on Washington's team? Kuz. I'm taking Kuz at the 4. Portland. I'm taking Dalla at the 2. Miami. Bam at the 5. Easy.
How far are they making it?
This team that I just put together, let's see. That team should win, but then they don't have me, Steph, or Clay. So that's an Eastern Conference team. They lose in the finals to the Warriors.
Jordan Poole, in his first 4 seasons in the NBA, he managed to collect a career average of about 16 points, 3 rebounds, and about 5 assists on average while shooting about 42% from the field and about 34% from the three-point arc. I think some of the keys to kind of point out when we talk about Jordan Poole at this point, I think he's hell-bent on leading the Washington Wizards alongside Kyle Kuzma, so that's going to be important that he shows a leadership role. Also, I don't really want to throw this out there, but, the Washington Wizards could definitely get phone calls in the future for a possible trade if the young Jordan Poole performs very well in the first half of the season. So I'm not 100% sold that he will actually finish this thing out with Washington. We have to see how it plays out, because depending on how productive he will be overall, we might have a situation where as though he might get traded mid-season. Washington might get a better package, something more to build, and he may actually be able to lock in with a contender. Whether that's the case or not, at the end of the day, I think Jordan Poole needs to prove that he can be a superstar in his own right.
You've won an NBA championship. What's next? What's your next chapter? What does it look like for you?
Yeah, continuing to get better each and every day, individually as a team. I think we have the chance to do something extremely special here with the group of guys that we have, from top to bottom, and applying that and really building up the culture. That's not an individual effort, that's a team effort. And just finding ways to get better and leading in the right way, leading by example, leading with work ethic, and everything else will kind of take care of itself.
What kind of championship habits do you want to bring to Washington?
Work ethic is first and foremost.
In Golden State, like I said, his moment was supposed to have came. He had his little shine at certain spots and things of that nature. I did feel like sometimes there was a little bit of an immaturity level at Jordan Poole, but I think he's a very good player, and I think once he masters his game, he is definitely going to be a problem when we talk about the second half of his career.
Much conversation about Draymond, going back to obviously the preseason incident. Even postseason, they were pretty adamant that they felt like it really impacted what went on last season. What is your just general perspective on how much of an impact the Draymond punch had on last season, and how is it left now with him and them?
Yeah, I mean, we're in Washington now. Playing with Kuz, great duo. Being able to really flourish, expand your game, and help, like I said, a new team, lead an entire group of guys. It's a challenge that we're up for. We got a new front office, and there's a lot of people that's invested.
Like some of the things that I think he needs to work on in DC may not actually equate to wins and losses, but you got to try to build some type of foundation, some type of new culture. There's rumors talking about Washington Wizards possibly moving to VA. So it could be speculations. It could be a lot of off-the-court conversations and things that could be kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't really focus. You know what I'm saying? It takes the attention off of what the main goal is. But I do expect Jordan Poole to do pretty well in Washington as far as individual player. He honestly doesn't look really happy. I'm going to keep it real. When you look at a lot of the pictures and stuff that he's been taking, he doesn't look happy at all. I wonder, does he really wanted to stay? I'm pretty sure he wanted to stay in Golden State. This is a franchise he won a championship with.
Wonderful job by Oni Johnson, who is our signature voice at Turner Sports. And the Warriors are going to the NBA Finals.
And they just got that championship pedigree. But it just simply wasn't going to work when you had Draymond Green and they just re-signed him. I think what wound up happening was the best for all parties. But Jordan Poole, with this fresh start, I think he could definitely make some noise. Maybe not so much for Washington, but I think he can make some noise for himself, being as though if he does that well of a job, Washington might get some calls for some other teams, and we could actually see Jordan Poole in contention for an NBA championship once again sooner than later. This is the Mitchell Report, y'all. I'm Seven Mitchell. It's time for you guys to sign off on this story. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think about Jordan Poole linking up in Washington. Do you think there's a opening for success when we talk about the Washington Wizards from last year to this year, now that they've made these adjustments and things of that nature? And how much of a loss will Jordan Poole be for Golden State, the Warriors? They got Chris Paul. And I don't compare those two directly, but Chris Paul is on the last legs of his career. Jordan Poole got a whole lot of basketball left to play. We'll find out who was the real loser in this trade, whether it was Golden State or Washington. And I don't believe it's going to be about just wins and losses. We're going to see how the chemistry works in Golden State. If it doesn't look good, if Chris Paul doesn't mesh well, even coming off the bench, then yeah, we'll definitely be questioning this decision that was made. But this is the Mitchell Report. I'm Seven Mitchell. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Jordan Poole going to the Washington Wizards. Y'all stay safe until the next video. Peace. Be sure to smash that like button, and if you enjoy the Mitchell Report series, leave a little quick tip or donation at the Super Thanks. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Thank you.